Welcome to the Conscious Father Show. This is Tom Hillgardner, and I'm joined with Alex Hurd. How you doing today, Alex?
I'm doing great, Tom. Looking forward to what we have going on today, because I think it's an important introduction to what we're trying to accomplish here.
I agree, man. So you and I, we've been friends for a little over 5 years, and this whole idea started by you and I having conversations almost once a week on our way to work. I'd give you a call or you'd call me, and the next thing you know, we'd either be in tears or in laughter, or a lot of times both. And there was a certain point where I remember telling you, I'm talking about these different life experiences that, I was experiencing and you were experiencing in our day-to-day fatherhood. I said, man, this is great. Like, I'm being so fed and so supported by these conversations that other dads need to be a part of this.
Yeah, so I think one of our original conversations was based around the fact that as men, we don't have these conversations together a lot for a myriad of different reasons. Sometimes it's because we feel that it's going to affect our man card. It's going to shine a light on our inefficiencies, our perceived inefficiencies as fathers. So when you and I started talking about it, the idea of keeping these questions and concerns and challenges as dads to the surface was born, and it's really, really, really important, because sometimes you feel as though you are alone in the process, even if you have a wife or a spouse or a husband. Sometimes you feel alone in the process, and it can be overwhelming and can become burdensome. And our conversations released some of that burden.
I totally agree, man. It was like the rawness of our conversations left me feeling more of a sense of I'm not alone in this journey. And strangely enough, left me with the struggles that I shared with you in whatever conversation it was, left me with a more eager and opportunistic mindset to go back into that challenging moment with my children.
Absolutely. Yeah. And so, I was giving thought to this, and when this concept first came up, the conscious father, I stepped back from it and I said, okay, what does that mean to me? Being a conscious father, what does it mean to me? And it's really much more simple than I think we make it out to be. And for me, what it means is, how are the decisions that I'm making sitting with me afterwards, when I have those quiet moments to reflect? How are those decisions sitting with me? And, just as for instance, there are times where I will overreact to something one of my daughters does, and at the end of the night, Jen and I will be laying in bed, and I'll just turn to her and I'll say, I could have handled that differently. I should have handled that differently. And that moment is being a conscious father. Because if it affects even minimally the next time that similar situation comes up, if you handle it even a little bit different, even if you don't, even if you handle it the very same way, at least it's in the forefront of your mind and you've given it thought. And that's what being a conscious father is to me.
I totally agree, man. And the great thing about it is, I was telling my wife, share this just last night, that, I don't claim to be necessarily a conscious father. This show is not us, speaking about how great of parents we are. In fact, I think sometimes we expose a lot of our weaknesses. But, but for me, it's about being on a path where we're leaning into trying to be more aware and more mindful. It's not about being perfect. It's not about being good. It's about taking each moment and, as you said, reflecting on it. And having a conversation, for me, has helped me to have a greater awareness around each experience of fatherhood that we talk about. And I was also thinking about this, about my father. And you and I talked about this, how this show is not just for new dads. This show is for dads that are now grandfathers. This show is for, guys that are becoming dads. And in fact, I think a lot of moms will enjoy the conversations that we have and the ability to relate with their spouses, or themselves. But thinking about my dad, growing up, I don't think he was somebody that thought about being a conscious father. He wasn't striving to necessarily be a quote unquote conscious father, but he was a great dad. You know, he took me fishing. He was my baseball and basketball coach. He was a very active and present father. And so to me, it's not necessarily a label that we're giving ourselves as a title to be a better parent, but it's more of a path that we're creating to have a bigger awareness so that we can become a better model for the human beings that we're bringing up into this world.
Absolutely. And I think what you and I have found out, just even through our conversations in the past and being friends for so long, is there is a trickle-down effect. And the trickle-down effect isn't just the father you are to your children, but the husband you are to your wife, the friend you are to the people that surround you, to your family members, to your close friends, your inner circle. There is a very significant trickle-down effect. It has to me, because it's constantly present in what I'm doing, because I do want to follow that path, not only to become a better father, but to become a better person.
Absolutely, man. I agree completely. So this is going to be an exciting journey for you and I sure hope that, you know, those of you that are watching our show, that if you subscribe to our show, you can get an email every time we post the latest show. You know, and we have a lot of topics in a range of different parenting experiences and spouse experiences with our children, but we would love to hear some feedback and some comments from some of you, our viewers, on things that you'd like us to talk about, so that we can, you know, have a bigger and more wide range of parental experiences.
Absolutely. That's a great idea. That's a great idea. I didn't even think about it, because you and I, there are things that happen to us on a week-to-week, day-to-day basis, but there are topics out there that you and I haven't even thought about yet or gotten to yet. So to get that viewership, that feedback would be a great thing. Will be great.
Absolutely. So thank you so much, everyone, for watching, and we hope that you enjoy the future shows.
All right. Thanks, Tom.
All right. See you, Alex.
Bye.